Hello everyone, this is Esfandiar. Welcome back to the second part of the session 7 of the CAD CAE bootcamp we already done the 2D modeling, 3D modeling, and we went through the assembly using the Solidworks. Now we're going to continue to the technical drawing, which is really important document that will go through the design document that you have. So the technical drawing will give a good idea for the designer to basically reproduce your part that you have in the CAD model, for instance. You will see from now on we used to see the technical drawings and then generate a 2D and 3D model out of it. Also, it's a really useful document that the manufacturer would be able to see the dimensions, the kind of features that you are looking for. So it's a really important document. It's a kind of report that basically you will then communicate based on that with the manufacturer, between the designers as well. So within this session, we're gonna go through the drafting environment or drawing environment of the software. We're gonna go through the different type of the views we can generate in the SolidWorks, how we can generate those drawing views, how we can manipulate them, add the annotations, modify those annotations, how we can create the exploded views, as well as the making notes and for instance the print the drawings out of it. So let me quickly go through the software and tells you how would be able to open up the technical drawing or 2D drafting. So there are the two ways you would be able to open the technical drawing is basically by just creating a new file. You can either go to the new, go to the file and click on new. And we already done the part, we already done the assembly. Now we're going to go through the drawing and click on the drawing. And depends on what standards you pick it up. If you remember, we earlier defined it as a British standards on the SolidWorks. That's why I can only see the BSIs in here, and they are A1 to the A4 sizes. But again, if I want to see the other templates, I can click there, and I will see the rest of the templates that the software provides, such as the ISO one. If in case you have your own templates, you can click on the browse and would be able to locate the file and save it and load it as well in here. I'm gonna go to the standards and I'm gonna pick up the A3. Also, if you want, you can make your own one that doesn't follow any standards, so you can completely go ahead with what you were doing. I'm gonna go with the standards with the A3 BSI. I'm gonna click OK. Because I don't have any documents open, you can see the same as what we were doing with the assembly. You don't see anything here. So what I need to do, I need to click on browse and go and find those. Let me go to the device assembly example that we had. I'm gonna bring the base in here, and I need to click on open. So once you bring it there, sometimes the preview switch off, so you don't see any kind of visualization. Make sure you activate the preview. That will give you a good understanding about what you are doing. So you need to start with the reference. For the reference, usually we have the front as the reference in here, but you don't have to. If in case you want to have the reference, the main view as a top view, you can go around between them, or let's say the side view, the right view, or even the isometric view. And that's the main view. That's the reference view, which you're gonna get the rest of views out of it. So I'm gonna go with the front one. And what else you can do in here, if in case you want to mirror it, you can basically apply the mirror view. What it does, it rotates it. You can see that I can mirror it horizontally. I can mirror it vertically as well. So that's basically help you with the rotation of that. If in case you want to see the hidden lines, you can see here we don't see any hidden lines. If you want to see the hidden lines, you can activate the hidden lines, for instance, in here. If you want to change it to the shaded view, which usually we don't, but if in case you want to see it, you can do it like that. I'm gonna go with the normal one without any hidden lines, and I will come back and update it later because everything is editable. Also, you can control the scale of it. By default, based on the size of the paper and size of the geometry of the part that I have, is suggested me a 1:2, or I can go to the custom, and you can see I can do the 1:1, which is quite big for this size of the paper. That's why the software didn't recommend it. Or you can go to the 1:5, we make it much more smaller, even bigger. You can go to the 2:1, 5:1, and so on. I'm gonna go with the default one with what the software recommended. Also, if in case you have a thread, you can control the quality of the thread, whether you gotta go with a high quality or draft. High quality, if in case you have so many threads, and especially they're small, it might take a little bit longer for the computer to process it. So that's the first view. I just click once, and now anytime I move the mouse, I get the project view out of it. So for instance, that's the top view, that's the side view on the right view, and that's the isometric view that I can get out of it. If I update this one, so any of these, let's say I'm gonna bring the detail view, all of them will be then be updated as well, because this is the reference view. Let's say if I'm gonna make it as a shaded, all of them become shaded. However, every single of these, let's make this one without hidden lines. Now, because these are dependent on the other one, this one I can manually and then change, for instance, this one only to the detail view, which the detail view only be applied in here. If I want to move these views around, I can easily move them. You can have a look that I can easily move them around. However, if I use the reference one, you can see the rest will accordingly move with the rest. For once you're dealing with a part, you can see that you will have a sheet 1 is basically sheet 1. If in case you want to bring the one more component and continue with another component, you can create a new sheet by clicking it here. And to the sheet 2, I can bring the another part. Let's say I'm gonna bring the movable jaw in here, and I'm gonna click on open and change the size to the 1:1 to be honest, a scale. That's better. And then I'm happy with it. Top view and a side view, and click OK. And now if I move on if I want to move on between sheets, you can easily move on between sheets. And whatever views I get, it will appear here. You can see the drawing 1, the drawing 2, drawing 3, and same thing for the sheet. If you zoom into this template, you can see these are not editable because these are in a different layer, a layer below my model. So in order to control these, what I can do, I can go to the sheet format, right click on it, and go to the edit sheet format. Or also what I can do, I can go to the sheet format in here and click on edit sheet format. It's the same things. And now these become editable. For instance, the drawn by, I'm gonna change it to the designed and click OK. You can see now it's become design. If in case you want to bring, for instance, a logo here, let me bring a university, Kingston University logo. I'm gonna copy the image. Let me bring it here. You can see I brought the Kingston University logo. Let me make it a little bit smaller. And I'm gonna just leave it there. And if I come out of that edit sheet format, you can see it's no longer editable and it will stay there. So that become part of my template. So what else I wanted to say in here? In the first layout is basically you talk about the you control the views, and if you want to go with the annotation and give the dimension, then you need to move from the layout to the annotations. Once you go to the annotation, you have two different types for the dimension. So you are familiar with the smart dimension, but which basically with the smart dimensioning you have access to different type of them. If in case it's a horizontal dimension, vertical, and so on, or is it for instance chamfer, you can pick it up. Or you can use the smart dimension, which automatically find out what sort of dimension you are looking for, and then use that one. So you are familiar with it from the 2D and 3D modeling that we used to do. So let's say I'm gonna get the angle between these two. So it automatically would go and find the distance between them through the file that you already designed, and then bring it here. Let's say you're gonna bring and make a dimension for that one, and I'm gonna bring one more, and let's say the dimension between I don't know, for instance here, I'm gonna bring it there. If in case you want to make sure they are aligned, what you can do, you can pick both of them, right click and go to the align, and then align them accordingly. Let's say align right, so it would be aligned. These dimensions, every single time I click on it, you will see that it open up the properties of that one for me, which I can control the tolerances. I can control whether you want to have it as the center or side. You can control the leaders. So let's say you're gonna change the arrows in here. You can see whenever I click there, the arrows will then change. You can also control, for instance, the dimension here is a millimeter. If you, in case you want to override it, you can override that. Oh, sorry, this is the degrees. In here, you can, I don't know, change it to radians, for instance. You can change it to radians. Or these are, if in case these are millimeters, you will be able to change it. Let's say I'm gonna change this one and override it to the meter. I'm gonna go there, override, and then change it to the meters, which basically you're gonna take it out of the standard, which usually you don't. But again, it's editable. Every single time you go on top of that, let me bring this one to the degrees again. Every single time you go over it, if you click over that one, go over that, you will get that one. So if you're coming from the Siemens Annex, you are familiar with this one. So you will be able to control that what a text are gonna go above it, a text gonna go the before a prefix, a text gonna go after, a text gonna go below that. So for instance, if you want to give that, say, it's the internal diameter, you can put the internal diameter or ID that it's for the internal diameter. If in case, for instance, you want to move that one to put it into the side, you can do that. If you want to bring it to the center. Let's say in here you want to control the tolerances. Right now there is no tolerance. I'm going to make it symmetrical tolerance. And you can see that's the tolerance I want to make. Let's put it as the, I'm going to make it as a 1.2345678 9. And what you will see here is only 2 decimals is visible here. In order to control that, you can go there. You can go and let's say 3 decimals you want to see, and so on. You can control the number of the decimals you want to basically see in here. Or you can bring it back to the what's the documents recommend, what's the basically the standard of that template. It's the same things for that value here, that 85 degrees value. You can go there and then control the decimals for the unit precisions in here as well. It's the same thing. So I'm going to go and put it for the document as well. So that's the same things over there. And so that's basically this part about the dimensioning. However, we have a really useful tool as well. Depends on what kind of model that you're dealing with. And it's called the model items. With the model items, you can get an automatic dimension for a specific feature for it or for the total model. Let me get rid of these dimensions here. And I'm going to show you to you how they will looks like. So if I go to the model items in here, I can activate what sort of dimension I'm going to automatically get. Let's say I'm going to activate the revolutions. I'm gonna activate the tolerances. I'm gonna activate if in case there is, I use the whole wizard, the location of them, as well as whether the whole color, whether it's the counter song, the counter board, and so on. What I will do, I will then click OK, and you will see that automatically I will get the dimensions that it's regarding to my model. I'll also, if you notice, what I've also done, I've also would be able to control whether you want to eliminate duplicates or you want to get the duplications there as well. The same thing if in case there's a feature, a specific feature you want to just get an automatic dimension, you can click on that. Sometimes for the entire modeling, sometimes you get so many complicated basically dimensions that you have to go through them. If in case, for instance, they are meeting each other, you have to go there and move them around. But if you have a really simple geometry, to be honest, that's a really useful tool. Let's say I'm gonna go to the sheet 2, and you can see for the movable jaw, it's a really simple thing. And if I go to the model items, and I'm gonna activate this one as well, and I'm gonna get the dimensions, you can see whatever it gives me, it's, to be honest, it's good. The dimension that it gives me, it's acceptable and it's good. The only thing which keep repeating, because they have the same sizes, usually we don't give all the dimensions. What I also can do, I can drag and pick up all those dimensions. I can right click here and go to the align, and I can activate the auto arrange. So it's make it nicer, it automatically arrange them for me. But to be honest, in this case you don't need to give all these dimensions because both of them is 3 and is enough. But you can see, because I had a really simple geometry, the dimensions that I got was to be honest was fine about what I was doing. And the other thing I wanted to say, that let's say I'm in here, and what I'm gonna do, let me get rid of these dimensions because I don't need these ones. Let me do a Control and Z and bring it back. Okay. So let's talk about the view. So the main goal of the technical drawing, you want to have a report, a document that it's simple but it's easy to follow. Here you can see I don't have enough information because I want to see that what's going on with the holes that basically I have there. So it's better to bring back the hidden lines. However, the hidden lines in here is make it complicated. You don't get so much information there, to be honest. These two are important because you have the holes on the side of it. You can see the full the 3D isometric view of that. But this one I already know there's a hole. I don't need that one. So what then I can use a section view. In order to bring a section view, I can go to the layout. I can click on a section view, and you will see you have access to different section views. You have access to the vertical, the horizontal one, and the auxiliary one, and also the aligned one. Let me go with the horizontal one first. And I'm gonna bring that section view, let's say here, and I will just click on OK. And if I bring it there, you can see that's the section view I got. It's good, but it still doesn't give me that much information. So let me move on that section view. And what I want to do, I want to zoom in to make sure the section view is highlighted. So let me click it through there. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna move that section view that I have, bring it higher. So it's really important because this section view is also the view, it's the same line. Let me zoom in to make sure I pick up the section view. I'm gonna bring it here and then click OK. And in order to see it there, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click on the rebuild, and you see that's another section view I get. It's good, but to be honest, it still is not what I'm looking for. Because what I was looking for to see that cut we had. If you remember in the 3D modeling, we used to put the movable jaw there. So what I need to do, I need to find a good location for that section view, which it gives you a good understanding for the designer to be able to reproduce your model. So what you need to do, you need to bring this one, let's say in here. I'm gonna bring it there. Click OK and then rebuild it. That's okay, but that's a good location because I can see the cuts. But now I no longer have those two because you want to limit the number of the views rather than having the 5 or 6. I want to join these two together. What I can do, if I go to that section view, flip the direction of the viewing angle, that's much better because then what you will still see those two holes. You will see also the section view, which basically there's a material here and also there's a cut. And now I can get rid of that view that I generated and just rely on the section view that I have, which is really useful. And you can see it's A to A, which means it's a section between those two. Also, what you can do into the section views, you can also bring the, let's say, the dotted lines if in case you want to bring it as well in here, or the hidden lines. To control in the section here, the hash in here, you can click on there, and what you will see there, these are all getting the information from the material of the part that you have in the basically the assembly or even 3D modeling that you had. If in case you want to overwrite it, you can click on there. Based on the different materials, you can see the different standards, show the different signs and different hashes for that. Let's say I'm gonna go with this one. You can control the number of the hash lines. You can control the degrees between them. If it's a solid, you can click on the solid, or you can use the material crosshatch, which I recommend. Is basically will based on different materials, the different materials in the GD&T has a different kind of hatch lines in here. And so basically that's about the section views. Let's do one section view on the side as well. Let me go to the section view, and now this time I'm going to use the vertical one. Let me do a section view in here, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring it there. You can see even this section view give me a really good understanding. So rather than I use this one, I can easily use that one instead, because that's the good things. If in case you want to bring the let's say an assembly to see how the assembly looks like, because sometimes if you have a complex model, you want to show how the assembly of it looks like. What you will be able to do, you will be able to go there, click on the model view, and onto the model view, then you can bring the new model. Let me bring the full assembly in here, and I'm gonna make it to the isometric. Also, I'm gonna make it colorful as well, and just bring it there. And so it also gives us a good representation about how the assembly gonna looks like at the end. If in case you're happy with what you are doing and you want to generate basically and save it, what you can do, you can go to the file, save as, and let's say, of course, if in case you want to save it, is a Control S or save and save it, and you can see it's a .drw or the .sld, which is for SolidWorks drawing. Or let's say I'm gonna print it out or convert to the PDF, because the PDF that generated is really good. Let me, yeah, base is fine. I'm gonna overwrite it. Sheet 1 and sheet 2. I'm gonna wait for that one to be open. You can see I have access to both sheet, 2 pages, and something which is really good, I can select of these. Every single of that has a hyperlink that basically let you to zoom on that, and that's really useful, especially if you're gonna work with these, especially if you have so many dimensions over there that you want to look at it. So I already covered these, and I will go through the advanced level of that one, a little bit much more complex, by having the different kind of views, detail view, breakout section views into the other part. But what I want to do, I want to just quickly show it to you how you can open the drawing in the other way. So let's say that I already have the one file open. That's let's say I don't know. Let's go with the flange, because I'm gonna show something here as well, and I'm gonna open up the flange coupling in here. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open up the assembly while I'm into this page. What I can do, I can go to the new, and then I can go and make a drawing from the part and assembly. It's the same thing, you could work with the assembly as well. If I click on there, what it does, it takes me automatically to the drawing environment of the software, which you will be able to specify and pick up the template you're gonna look for. I'm gonna go with the A3BSI. And now you can bring the views you are looking for. Let's say if in case you want to bring the back, you can just click there and bring the back, and now that become the reference. So anytime I move it around, it become you will get the different views out of it. Also, what you can do, if in case you want to bring the projected view, as long as you have a projected view in the assembly, you can just bring it here. Let me quickly get rid of these, and I'm gonna bring a projected view in here. So I can go, sorry, the exploded view, I mean. In order to do that, I go to the model, I go to the flange coupling. Let me double click on that, and I'm gonna go with the isometric. And you can see that I will automatically get that exploded view in here. Let me change the scale of that one, so hopefully it would be easier for you to have a look, and I can just leave it there. If you want to see the bill of materials, what you can do, you can go to the annotations, go to the tables, and then bring the bill of materials from here, and then let me leave the bill of material in there. But you will see the number 1 is a flange, bolt and nut. I have 2 flange, 6 bolts and 6 nuts here, so that's really useful. If in case you want to bring the balloon, you can manually add them, or you can use the auto balloon. You need to click on auto balloon, pick up the view you want to bring that balloon to, and you can see automatically you get the balloons that related to this bill of material. That's the number 2, which is bolt, number 3, which is nut, and you can move them around like that. Also, let's say I'm gonna bring the new sheet. If in case you don't want to bring the layout manually using the model view, as long as you have the model open, you can go with the standard tree view. Let's go with the flange coupling this time again, and you will see that automatically bring the tree standard view for you. Whereas this case, you don't have a control on that at the beginning, but if in case I'm gonna edit it, I can come back here and then modify those. You can see once I click that, the rest of them will be able to move around. Every single of these, if in case I want to, for instance, rotate this one, I can come here and then click on the rotate, and I will be able to rotate it for the rotation that I'm looking for. So that's basically on these. These are really simple, basically the drawings, but it would be enough for the majority of the drawings you're gonna deal with. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take you through one of the tutorials that the Solidworks has, and I think is really useful. In order to do that, go to the Solidworks bar on the top, go to the help, and click on the Solidworks tutorials. And if in case you want to practice it, these are the basic tutorials. It's really good, especially even the drawings one. It covers some sort of the simple things you can do with the drawing. But we are aiming to do right now, I'm gonna go from the basic techniques. Even if in case you're interested, you can go and follow those. It has a step-by-step guide about what you need to do on the 2D, 3D modeling and assembly and so on, as well as the computer-aided manufacturing, final elements analysis, the CFD one as well. I'm gonna go to advanced techniques, and I'm gonna open up the advanced drawing. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go through this one and follow it, because I think that we're really good about the section view and as well as the adding the balloons and bill of materials, because we have the complex model there, and that would be easier to go through. And we'll come back and go through the couple of the tutorials together. So let's go through the advanced drawing overview now. So let's do the first one. And in here, what we're gonna learn about more detailing methods, such as applying the sectioning, project view, breakout section, as well as the crops, which basically, as I said, the aim of the drawing or drafting is that you're gonna give a 2D view of the item, simplified version of it, but also it should be comprehensive as well. So sometimes whenever you have the complex geometry, you need to apply these sort of things. Whenever you have some kind of holes or some kind of sectioning, such as grooving, these sort of thing inside the part, the normal views won't be able to give you these. So what you need to do, you need to have applied, for instance, a section view, which shows what's going on into the inside of the part. So this is one of the reasons we use that. But basically, we have the sessions on that, which you can always go back and check those videos. And we're going to practice that into the software, which is this time is Solidworks. So let's go next and start it. So in order to start, you need to have access to this file, which is the food processor. If you click here, the Solidworks, it automatically retrieves it from its tutorial library and try to open it for you. So you can see here, we have the drafting file. Let me zoom out so you have everything. Something before you start, you can see that it has a template, but the template doesn't apply properly. So if you remember, let me zoom in it so you can see. If you remember, in order to edit the template, what you're supposed to do, because this one is not editable, what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to right click on the edit sheet format, click on this one or whatever you want to do and bring it up. And if you finish, you can either right click and click on the edit the sheet. Let me accept this one first. You can either right click and go to edit the sheet, or of course you can click here to come out of the template editing. So you no longer can edit those, which is fine. So we come a little bit higher to the actual file. So what we're going to do, we're going to apply the section view to this model. So what I need to do, I need to go to the view layout, and into the view layout, there's a icon for the section view. If you click there, you can see we have the different one. We have the vertical one, the horizontal one, the angular one. We're going to use the horizontal one and pick the view you want to apply it. I'm going to pick this one and make sure the auto star section view is selected. And I'm going to start from this mid circle. Just click once there, and it automatically try to give you that section view. Try to bring it higher. You can see here. But what we have is in opposite direction. So what I need to do, I just need to flip the direction around so you can see I will get the same sort of what I'm looking for. Just click here and okay. Everything is fine. You don't need to rebuild it, but if in case you don't have the up-to-date view, if you want to update it, you can always click here and rebuild everything. So you can see I applied a section view to it. And also the section view asks you to put it underneath. So let me make sure I will just bring it down in here. You can see here, I would be able to put it up, or I can bring it up. Okay, so what else we need to do? We want to apply the dimensioning. So in order to do that, you need to go to annotation, go to the smart dimensioning. And if you want to see it better, you can always go onto the top, zoom in area, and click on escape so it comes out of that view, and apply the smart dimensioning. So make sure you're into the annotation, smart dimensioning, click on this line and this line and 3.16. If you want to change, for instance, letters, you would be able to come here and change these to a different style, but I'm happy with that. You would be able to even change this style to goes outside, for instance, in this case, or inside. I prefer to have it on the outside so it's more clear. And you can see that what I mean by these arrows, so it should be outside. And let's put more information. So DIM is for dimensioning. I'm gonna add WT afterward, so for the width, and also TYP underneath. And you want to make sure you justify it to the left. So left justification, adding WT at the end, even changing the letters in here. And if you're happy, you just click OK. So we just add that one to that view. So what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna add the radius for that fillet. So what I can do, I can zoom in. So you can zoom in with the scroll into the mouse. Smart dimension again, and this one is 4. But because we have two of it, one in this side and the other one in this side, I'm gonna put 2 XR. What does it mean? I have 2 of those radius. You can see it's been applied to there, sorry, to here. So just make sure you put it there and click OK. So let's see what other dimension we want to add. Let's put these dimension as well. So go to the smart dimensioning, the distance between these two and these two. Oh, sorry, so the distance between, whenever you made a mistake, just click on escape. The distance between this one and this one should be 2. So just leave it there. The distance between this one and this one. So make sure is 1.16. The distance between this one and this line is 6.59, and the distance between this line and the other line is 9.50. And I can zoom out. Also, if you want to zoom in so you can have a better on the dimensioning. So this is something I applied for it based on what I found. So if you notice here, I made a mistake and I add one more dimension here. If you want to get rid of it, so what do you need to do? You just need to click on it once and press the delete button on your keyboard, or if you don't have it, you can go to edit and click on delete. So we'll get rid of this one. So I have all these information that I'm looking for these parts of the tutorial. So if you've done that, so please pause and do it at your own time. If you've already done it, let's go ahead with the rest of it. So what I want to do now, I'm gonna get the project view. So if you remember, the project view gives us a chance so we can get another sort of projection view from the drawing that I have in here. So I go to here and I go to projected view. I just need to pick a view as a reference. So I'm gonna pick this one. And you can see that if I go up, I get that view. If I go down, I will get this view. If I go to the right, so I will get a different projection view. Just want to click on here and make sure the hidden lines, they're visible now. So we switch it off for the last part of tutorial. We're gonna switch it back on. And I will just pick this one and get rid of the other view. So just leave it there and click OK. So if I want to get rid of this view, what you can do, you can like before, you can either come here, right click and delete, or you can click delete under the mouse. And if you want to move this project view, you can click on it and you would be able to move it around. So I'm just gonna leave it there. I click OK. So if you have a look now, you can see the normal view I had. I think the previous one is a good example. Let me go back to it. This one doesn't show me what's going on inside the part. Right, this one where I see the hidden lines tells me what's going on. So there are lots of holes inside the part which is not visible in this one. But this one is really simplified. I don't get all the information. This one, I get too much information on it, which is confusing. So what I need to do, I need to apply, for instance, a breakout section view, so which gives me a better understanding what's going on. So let me get rid of this one and let's continue with this view. Let me bring it a little bit up. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna apply the breakout section. So make sure you are into the layout, you go to the breakout section, and to the breakout section you go to a sketch and make sure spline is activated. And also you can zoom in to see better. So let me zoom in here and I gotta apply it into here. So what I will do, I will make sure spline is active. I will start from here to there and make sure I will go with this one, for instance, with this one, and then I'll go and click there and click OK. Go back to the layout, click on breakout section, and now I'll make sure I will pick this one from the first as a reference. So I will pick this one as a depth reference and I'll click OK. So now if I zoom back, you can see these hash lines, they appeared. So that's the section view, but it's only applied to the area that I created that spline. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get rid of all the lines, all the hidden lines. So what do you need to do? You need to, let me click on the scale to go out of it. So you need to active this view, just clicking once on it, and make sure you change this one, hidden lines visible, to the normal one. And which basically the hidden lines, they are removed, and click OK. I still see the section view that I created here. What you need to do, if you go over it, you can see the property manager for that breakout section. And if you click once there, you can see that the breakout section property manager would appear. However, these crosshatch lines, they are standardized. Basically, each of them, the distance between those represent a material, a different material, and is standardized. If you want to manually change them, you can untick this one and change the number of the lines. So for instance, I can increase it. Let's see how dense I can make it. In our case, we're going to change it to the 4. And I click OK. So we'll do the same thing in here as well. And I click OK. So I've done that part as well. So you can see you have just the section for a dedicated area by applying the broken out section. Next, I'm gonna apply the cross view boundaries. So first of all, let's change something into the options. So what do you need to do? You need to go to the option. From the system options, make sure you go to the document properties. And from document properties, make sure you click on detailing. And into the detailing, there is a section for auto insert on view creation. Make sure center marks for the holes is activated. Same things for the fillets and also the center line. So automatically whenever we get a view, we'll get these and click OK. Now what I will do, I will go to the video layout, model view, and I will make sure the base plate is selected. And you can either click on next or you can double click on this one, it's the same things. You can see now I have this view and make sure the front is chosen, is selected. So just leave it there. Bring it a little bit inside. So just gonna leave it there and click OK. So what you will see here, you'll see it's really good, but I still see some lines, these tangent lines, and I want to get rid of them because they're really confusing for me and I can get it from the side view. So what I'm gonna do, I just click on the escape. And what I will do, I just right click on this one and go to the tangent edge removed. And you can see these lines has been removed. So we'll do it one more time for you. Tangent edge, they're visible. Right click on it and make sure tangent edges are removed and click OK. So go to the next, and we're gonna create a spline. So that one as a base is gonna help us to create the crop view boundaries. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to a sketch again. I will click on the spline, and let's click here. For instance, I will have one in here, the other one in here, one in here, let's say one in here, and then we'll click it there. So make sure it's a closed loop. I'll click OK and go to the view layout, and I will click on the crop view. So you can see it remove everything and just keep the one that I put into the spline. So I would be able to use this one and apply the dimension. So the reason I didn't apply the dimension for the first one because it's really complicated. So you don't want to put so many dimensions. So outside, we already put this one. For the inner part, we're gonna go with this part. So we're gonna apply the dimension suite. Let me click there to zoom in. And we need to apply these dimensions. So in order to do that, we need to go to annotations, click on smart dimensioning, and let's start for this one. So click once here, click once there. So you should already know that from what we've done earlier as a part of this tutorial. This one's a 23.70. What else I have? Let's get this one. This one is the radius 12.50. Let's do for instance, distance between these two circles. Something if you notice, if I click on a smart dimension, if I pick these two, you will get the angular dimension, which is not I'm looking for. So what you need to do, once you click on a smart dimensioning, make sure you just pick these curve outside, these curve outside. It automatically find out that you're looking to get distance between those two circles, and it needs to get the distance between the center of them. Just click there. What else I want to do? I want the distance between this arc and this arc, which is 37. I leave it there. The distance between this arc and that arc, I guess, is the distance between this arc and that arc, 90.65. So it's the distance between that arc and this arc is 35. And that's it for this part. Let me zoom out to make sure I have all of those. Great, yeah. So have a look and make sure that you apply these dimensions to it as well, the same as what I've done. And let's go to the other part of it, which is the detailing. Great. So now let's go to the another stage. What we're going to do now, we're going to work on the more detailing. So we're going to see how we can apply the auto dimensioning rather than every time keep repeating and applying dimension manually. We're going to use the auto dimensioning feature. We're going to see how I can add the datum feature simple into my model, how I can apply the tolerancing, how I would be able to add a node, and also how about the model item, which automatically put the dimension for it. So let's begin this part. You already loaded the file. In my case, because I'm gonna do it again, I'm gonna click one more time, but you should already have this file in front of you. Now from the first sheet, let's go to the sheet 2. And in here, we're gonna use the smart dimension again. So make sure from the view layout, you go to annotation, you click on the smart dimensioning. And also make sure that from here, you go to auto dimensioning. So you go to auto dimensioning. And in here, you change all entity to the selected entities because I'm gonna manually pick the views. I'm gonna start with this one. So the one I have with horizontal, and also the one I have for vertical. So make sure I have these ones selected, this one, and that one. So for this one, I'll make sure it goes below. So we get the dimension for this one below, and this one, make sure it's left of view. So this is something actually you will decide how you want to have it. And if I click on apply, you can see I automatically get this dimension based on where I wanted to have it. Let's continue with these auto dimensioning. So what I will do, I will just repeat, but I will pick this one. And I go to auto dimensioning, selected entities, I'll pick this one. And this one I'll go and pick it as a red. This one is a blue, is okay. And I'll click OK. You can see I'll get the dimension is in here. I will do it one more time. This time, auto dimensioning, selected entities, I'll click here. And I don't change anything else in here. I will click OK. And you can see I got all the dimension automatically and through my drawing. What I will be able to do, if I want, I will be able to just click on every single of them and move them around. Even what I can do, while I'm in here, you can right click and you can go to, you can make a box first of all, something like that. Just click once and drag the mouse. Just do it one more time. Click on the mouse and then drag the mouse and right click. And you should have the align option. And into the align, if I go to the auto arrange, you can see all these dimensions would be automatically arranged with the equal spaces, which looks nice and also is more professional. So I will do it one more time. Just click once, drag the mouse to make the box, right click, align, and into the align, I will just click on the auto arrange. So once we've done that, let's add the datum feature. So we're gonna add more information to this specific view. What I need to do, I need to go to here. So in the annotation, I'll go to the datum feature and I will just click in here. And I'll just take it out and leave it like that and click OK. So I have that A, and if I want, I would be able to move it around. I'll go next and I'm gonna add the tolerance for it. So what I'm gonna do, I go to the geometric tolerance on the top. And I will change the symbol to make sure it's perpendicular. The tolerance A is a 0.5 millimeter tolerance, and also it's for A, the A that we just created, the A for this one, and we click OK, and you can see it's here. So if you double click on it, or if you click once, I will make sure that actually the letter is switch on. What I will do, I will just leave this one above, move this point, I will bring it here for instance, and bring this one there as well. I will leave it like that, and I'll click OK. So you get the tolerance for A. And let's see how we can add a note. So note, again, in the annotation, you click on a note, but where you want, let's put it here, and I type note. enter, and we can type the same thing ask us to put. I just want to copy paste, save time, so I use the Control C, go back here, Control V, and I do Control A to make sure I will be able to change the size of it. You don't have to, but if you want, you would be able to change the font. Let's make it bold. And if you're happy, you click OK. If you want to move it around, you would be able to do that. If you want to be able to use these notes later as well, so you can add it to your library. So if you want to add it to your design library in here, this one, set of books, click on that. And usually you see the design library here. Annotation wasn't visible for me because the way they installed it on this machine. In order to bring these annotation, what you need to do, you need to go to the option. And in here, you need to go to the file location. Change these document template and change it to the design library. Click on add. And make sure you go to this address. So first of all, you need to type that one because it's a hidden folder. C, program data, type it like that, and then press enter. It will bring it to here. And in here, we need to look for Solidworks. It's a Solidworks 2018. And it's the design library. In design library, you want the annotations and click select folder. So once you click on that, it bring it for you. You might get an error that you are not the admin, but don't worry, it would automatically add it for you anyway. And click OK. If you do it like that, then into the design library, the annotation would be added here. And if you go there, you can now go here, add to the library, pick this note, note 1, name it for whatever you want. I'm going to call it note 1, 2, 3. And then annotation, you want to save an annotation and click OK. Now if I move on to the sheet 3, if I go to the design library again, in my annotation, I should see a note 1, 2, 3, and I can easily bring it in here. So in all of your files from now on, you would be able to just bring any notes that you have because you already saved it. So this is why the SolidWorks tutorial asks you to do that, and I think it's useful to do. This one, now we're gonna apply the dimensioning, but rather than I use a smart dimension, I'm gonna go to the model items, and I will make sure the entire model is selected. Import items into the all views is ticked. Make sure the mark for drawing is selected, and also make sure eliminate duplicates is unticked. And if I click OK, you can see all these dimensions automatically, and we've done that one as well. Okay, great. So now let's continue with the assembly drawing views. And within here, what we're going to want to see how exploded view looks like, how we can apply the detail view to it, a bill of material, which is really important, and also the auto ballooning as well. So let's open the same document that we have. So it should be already open for you. From this one, the sheet 1, we'll continue and go to the sheet 4. And I will go to view layout, model view, and I want to open the motor casing file. So in order to do that, you need to click on browse. So make sure you go to C drive, users, public documents, SolidWorks. SolidWorks 2018, or depends on the version you're using, in this case 2018. Samples, tutorial, advanced drawings, and it is motor casing. Just click on M. Yes, the first one, the assemble version of that. So you can see that's the assembly file there. You can see SolidWorks assembly, or even the icon looks like that, and click OK. So there are lots of parts. It's try to retrieve it from the library. And in here, make sure you click on the isometric view. I'll click on the preview as well, so I would be able to see what's going on. And I'll go to the custom scale, and let's change this one to the user defined. and change this one to the 1 to 4, and you will be able to leave it wherever you want and click OK. If you want to move this one around, you can move it around. Let's bring it higher, and I'm gonna leave it there, and I'm gonna put it into the actual zoom. Good. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna, for instance, show how you would be able to have the detail view, let's say for this part. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click on the detail view, and now I would be able to draw a circle. So I would just click there and draw a circle, something like that. And you can see I would automatically get a detail view. And detail view, I can even change the scale of it. I can go with the parent scale, which was this one. I can go with the sheet scale, which was 1 to 10, or I can go with a custom scale, for instance. Let's say put it as the 1 to 2, let's say. But because I don't have a space, I'll go with the 1 to 4, and I will leave it there, and I'll click OK. So as you can see here. Now, so the reason we have this one, it's basically this detail view should have a higher scale. So whenever you don't have enough space, you just zoom on some part, and just this one should have the bigger scale. So let's add the bill of material. The bill of material, you need to go to the annotations. Into the annotation, you have table and bill of materials. If in case you cannot find it, you can always go to the command type bill of material and enter, and it would open it for you because I already opened, so it doesn't show it to me. But let's do it like that, and you will see, if I click like that, you can see the bill of material will appear for me in here. So I'm gonna apply the bill of material for this one. So choose the select view, and in terms of the bill of material, you will have the template which you can use. In this case, we're gonna use the special template. So, but you can use the default one. But in here, I'm gonna go to the template related to the tutorial. So you need to click on here, and so I will just do it for you. C drive, users, public document, SolidWorks 2018, sample, tutorial, advanced drawings, bill of material template, and click OK. So in here, make sure the bill of material is only on the parts only, and I don't change anything else. Just click OK and leave it wherever you want. It's okay. If you click here, you would be able to move it around. Let me put it as to the bottom left, and if I zoom in, probably I would have the better control to just leave it somewhere which is nice and doesn't obstruct my view. Yeah, just leave it there. That's better. Let me see it. Awesome. Great. So you can see you have the item numbers, the name of them, and also there are the different sections such as price, quantity, and cost, which they're empty. And we're going to add them. So it's like dealing with the Excel spreadsheet. What we're going to do, we're going to highlight the price. So go over it, click on the price, and this toolbar would appear, and I'm going to go to this one, the column property. Under the column property, I'll make sure the first one is the custom property is fine, but the description is price. And you can see the price of them would appear automatically based on the way that this template works. And let's do one more time for the cost, but this time for the cost, we're going to apply the equation for it. And let's start the precision. We're going to have it at 2 decimal, and the columns, we're going to have it as the quantity multiply by price. So that's the formula. I click OK, and you can see the cost would appear here. For instance, we have 2 switch, and the price becomes $2 or £2, whatever it actually is the unit of this one. And
So this is the bill of material, which is really important to have as one of the documents whenever you have the exploded view. And let's apply the balloons. The balloons basically represent each of these numbers in here, which attach to these parts. So something it's important once you're doing the auto balloon, first the details should be added, otherwise it won't work. So click on this one, apply the auto balloon to it, and click OK. Let me move this one around and bring it up so it would be easier for me to work with. And I will pick this one, apply the auto balloon on it, click OK. So all of these I will be able to move it around. I would be able to bring this one a little bit down. Each of these is controllable. Also, this one, let me see. I can bring this one down. I can click on this one. I would be able to bring this one there, there, also there. To make it fit to the actual one we have. And let's check the assemblies. So once I click in here, there is this icon. If you click on that, I can see the list of the part itself. You can see it would be highlighted. I can check the balloon of it. For instance, this one is a 4, that's why the balloon is 4. This one is 5, that's why the balloon is 5. That's why we have it, because once you print this one out, they won't be able to see this one. So that's it. That was it for today, and basically we'll give you an idea whenever you design a part, what sort of information you need to put into drawings and how you would be able to do that. Once you finish, just save, click on save to save it. And also if you want to print it like before, you just go to file, print, and save it as a PDF. If you want, you can make sure you put it into the scale. Then make sure it's a scale to fit. Click OK. All sheet, yes, click OK. And let me save it in my local drive. So that's the page 4 that I was looking for, and also the same as that one. So the first 1, 2, 3 sheets that you have it there, and they are available for you to print and give it to the person, to either manufacturer or technician to work with.
So let's go back and practice what we learned so far with a couple of tutorials that I designed for you. In the tutorial 1, we're going to go through the model that we already work with in the 3D modeling stage of when we work with the Solidworks, and now we're gonna bring it back and then use it technical drawing environment to get the technical drawing. What we've done, we technically converted that to 2D modeling. We had a technical drawing to the 3D model, and you can see that's why technical drawing is really important, because without this information we couldn't get that model. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna bring it back basically and get the technical drawing out of the 3D model that we have. So into the next slide, I make the size of these technical drawing bigger, so hopefully it would be easier for you to go through it. So let me quickly open the Solidworks, and now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go and create a new drawing file. Click on OK, and I'm gonna go with the A3 sizes, or even you can go, yeah, A3, that should be fine. In here, I click OK, and I'm gonna go and load the file that's called tutorial 1. Click OK. And as a reference, I'm gonna go, and you can see here, I'm gonna go and start with this one, so which basically is the bottom one. So let me see which one it is. It's not the bottom one. Yeah, it's this one. It's basically the left view. So that's the left. I get the projected view, top one, and also the side view. So we get the 3 views out of it. And for the detailing, so what I'm gonna do, also gonna activate the hidden line, so hopefully it would be easier to go through it. And now would be enough, and I'm just gonna click on OK. So that's 3 views is enough for this model. So let me zoom in and start giving the dimensions for the first one. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to the smart dimensioning. So before I go that, make sure this one has the detail, the hidden lines, because I want to use that hidden line. I want to see these lines. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to the smart dimensioning and say that hole that we have here into the model has a 21 millimeter, and the length, the distance between those two is 36, and the distance between this one and this one is basically 5. And as I mentioned earlier, if in case you don't want to see those decimals, you can just bring it to the none and you will see just the 5. Depends on which one you want to do. For this tutorial, it doesn't need it, but usually we have it. But again, it completely depends on what you will do. Let me quickly go there and then stop that one as well. Okay. So, and the other dimension, this one was 16. And it's a diameter. So let me bring it here. And so for this one, what I can do, I can either go to the smart dimensioning for that hole, and you can see it's a 6 millimeter for the diameter. Let me get rid of the decimals in here. And you can see I can add a text. What we want to do, we want to say that if you go there, we want to say in here, we have 4 of that one with the diameter of the 3 for basically the circle that we have there, and also it's a counterbore diameter 6. So what I can do, so let me get rid of this one. Basically it's a 6 one. I need to go and get it from that circle, which is this one. And in order to do that, what I can do it manually, which basically then I have to go there and let's say I don't know, let me fix this one first, and I'm gonna say that I have 4 of this one, and underneath is basically here, so I'm gonna add S, as you can see here underneath of the text. I can then say I have a counterbore, so I can bring the counterbore sign, right, and diameter 6, and then a depth of 1, and click OK. Which basically you will see that what I supposed to do here. However, I'm gonna do it automatically. So in order to do that, I'm gonna go to the model items. Make sure I activate the select feature. So I'm gonna specify a view. I'm gonna bring it to this view, and it's just this one. I'm gonna get the whole cut out and click OK. And you will see that I will get that one. So if you compare this one, I manually done it. This one is automatically, and also we have the through all, which basically is a through all hole. So it completely depends on you which one you're gonna go for. It's much more proper way to go with the automatic one, right, than you manually go that, because you don't need to change dimensions and then type it. And also in here is the same as you know, anything else. I can go and control everything. So I can control, for instance, the decimals. Let's change it to the none. And so on. Also, you can see the callouts that we have. Also here we can have the through all, or we can switch that one up. So everything is fully controllable in here that you will be able to do. So let me click OK, and I'm gonna get rid of this one. I'm gonna just have this one here, and so I'm gonna go on and then continue with let me have a look to see with this section view on the side, because this one, to be honest, doesn't give me good information. It's not enough. So what I will be able to do, I will be able to get a section view. So let me go and click on the view layout, go to the section view and click on here. It's a vertical one, and I'm gonna get the section view as you can see here, and leave it just there. I'm gonna get rid of that view we have, because to be honest this view doesn't give that much information, so I'm gonna just use that section view that I have there. So for the section view, what we have here to the model, we have that center line which we don't see there. So in order to bring that center line, what I can do, I can go to the annotations, you can go to the center line, and you will see you want the center line between these two, and you get that center line which we are looking for. And now also I want to get the center mask, because I want to find the center of that one, and I can find the center of this one which is exactly there. So now I can go back and then provide the dimensions basically here. So we want to get the dimension between this line up to the center, which is 54. We want to get the same thing from here to the center, which is 54 as well. Let me see whether I get it correctly, because sometimes if you use a smart dimensioning, that's the issue. You have to make sure that you pick everything correctly. Between this one and this one is 54. And again, you know that how to get rid of that numbers if in case you want to don't have it. So also you can go back and update the properties of the document, so it's both of them is acceptable. So let me go and quickly do that. So in order to get rid of those dimensions every single time I'm going to control the decimals, you can easily go to the setting and go to the dimensions, which you will see that you have a control of the drawings. For instance, you can see the style of it, you can control the, for instance, hashes, the colors, sketch, and so on. So everything you would be able to control these. Also what you can do, you can go to the document properties, the next tab, and open up the drafting standards, go to the dimensions, and you can see the primary precision, you can have it as a none, and okay that. So from now on, whenever I get it, basically the dimension that I get from now on doesn't have any decimals after or automatically. So let's go back, and this one was 36. You can see from now on I don't get those decimals after it. This one is 36. That thickness over there is 5. So this one is 5. Also this one is 5 as well. So I'm gonna just bring it there. Let me move this one over there, and this one 5. And so that one has been done. Also section A to A, it's absolutely fine. Let me go with the top view. For the top view, so something I want to do is basically I will have the distance between the line to here is 5, and the distance between and this one and again the line that I have also over there is 5. And for that one I'm gonna use the automatic one. Let me quickly do this one, which is the distance between this one and that one is 36. So as I said, you can leave it like that, or you can just bring it closed with each other, but this time because it's the overall length, it's better to just bring it outside. And what I will have here, I can make for the fillet there, that's basically R2, and I have 4 of them here. Or what I can do, I can either use it automatic or the manual. So hopefully now you remember. Let me quickly do that manually here. That's basically I have 4 of them there, and that's absolutely fine. So that's it. And I'm gonna go and get the other one using the model. So I'm gonna go there and let's to apply the view in here and click OK. And what you will see that I do have is basically the hole that we have. So let me leave it there, and then I will then delete this one. So you can see that I have 4 of them. It's a true with a 6 depth of 1, and let me quickly add the fillets in here, for instance, then instead. So that's 4 of it in total. And that's it. So we've done everything for this one. You can see it's quite simple, and what I just need to do, I need to save it, which I'm gonna do it now. save all, and you can have it as a tutorial 1 if you want, or whatever name you're looking for. And now even if you want to export it, you can go to the save as, and you can go to the PDF, and let's generate the PDF as well. And you will see this is what we've done, and this is what we're supposed to do for this model basically. And that's it. And let's go with the second tutorial. Let's move on with the second tutorial. So in the second tutorial, we want to go and work with this one. So this is the model we already worked before and generated. And now we're going to go through and then convert the 3D model that we have and get a technical drawing out of it. So what I'm going to do, go and create a new file, create a new drawing again. I'm happy with the A3, the BSI, and then I will go and look for that file. I already put it for you as a tutorial too. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start with that view, which is the front. I'm gonna go to the top view and also the side view in here. And that's it. So I'm gonna click on OK. So let me click on this one because the model that we have in here is basically flipped it around. We can also flip it, but again I will go back to it once we're gonna do it later, because what has happened, instead of this view we're gonna go and work with the cross section. So just leave it like that, and then of course, but again, if in case you want to rotate it, as I mentioned earlier, you can go there for the rotation. You can easily rotate that model if you're looking for to do that. So let me go and continue about what I'm going to do in here. I'm gonna go and apply the dimensions. So that this first dimension I want to apply is in here. So let me zoom in for you, and there I'm gonna apply a dimension from here. That basically the fillet that we have there is the 10. And hopefully remember, if in case you don't want to every time go there and then change those decimals, which in this case, because we don't need decimals, let me get rid of that. I can easily go to the settings and go to the dimensions, switch off the precisions and click OK. Now anytime I basically go there and then get the dimension, I no longer get that number out of it. So that's R10 in here. And the height of it, the distance from here to there is 25. And that's it for this one. I'm gonna go and then move on. Instead of having that view, I'm gonna go and get the section view, because technically this view doesn't give me any information. So I'm gonna go and click on the layout, click on the section view, and I'm gonna go and get a section view, a vertical section view in here, and just bring it there. And you can see now it's much more better. Let me get rid of this one. Also, let me bring basically the hidden lines here. And that's fine. For this one, however, I don't need to have the hidden lines, so I'm gonna go with just itself. Let me see whether we want to add anything here. So if you have a look, the model that we have, it's decided to have the basically the cross section on that side. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna flip the direction. Once you flip the direction, you will get the side on the other way. So it is absolutely fine. But again, that's the other thing, you will be able to actually do it there. And so what I'm gonna do in here now, I'm gonna go and let me zoom in a little bit. And this direction is fine. Let me go and add some dimensions to the cross section that I have here. One of them was the dimension of this one, which is 5. The thickness, and the fillet we have in here, the distance between this one and that one, and you will see that there it's trying to round these, whereas basically what has happened, this one is a 7.5, so let me go there and bring one, so you can see this one is 7.5, this one also is, let me use one decimals, is 2.5, so that's why the numbers is different with what you will see. Okay, and let me see what else we have. Let me double check again. Yeah, this one also is the 2.5 for that fillet that I have there. So this dimension is fine on that side. Let me go through it, and then, and to be honest, also in here, if in case you want to add the center line, you can make a center line between these two, then you will have the center line in here. So let me go back and apply the dimension on this one, and let me zoom in onto the this part of the model, the top view, and the dimension I want to add is basically, let me go on to use the model and then pick this one up and see what I will then get. I'm gonna activate every single of these, and let's see what I will get on this one. So in here, some of the dimension gives me, it's, for instance, this one is 85. That's fine, and so basically it's okay. So the only difference here is just the orientation of that if you just compare it with this one. But to be honest, I prefer the manual. That's why I'm gonna do a Control Z. But again, if you go, all the dimensions is correct, and you can see these are all useful that you can use. But to be honest, I prefer to do it manually. Just make sure I have all the dimensions. Let me quickly do a Control and Z, and continue with this one. So first we want to apply the dimension for that outer circle, and that outer circle was a diameter 85. So you can see here is a radius. What you can just do in order to see the diameter, you can go to the leaders and then change this one to the diameter. You can see now it's become diameter. The next one is basically this one is 70. Then you want to get for this one, which is 25. And also what we want to do, we want to get a one for the inner one. That's basically this one, and it's 15. Also, if you notice, this model is flipped around, so you can, so as I mentioned, if in case you want to rotate it, you can go there, click on here, and then let me rotate it by the 180 degrees, and click apply. So what you want to do, you want to actually have it like that. This one is 80, this one is 70, and that one was 25. And what we had, we also had one for 15. And the other dimension was the distance between these, the center of these two. So I need to have make the center line. So center line between that one and this one. You can see there is a center line. Let me quickly double check something to see whether I see the, okay, so it's a parent style, that's fine. And I'm gonna go and quickly make the center line between all of them. These two, this one, this one. Okay, so now between the center lines, the distance is 6. So this one and that one is 6 millimeter. I'm gonna just bring it here. And what I also know, the from the center to here also is 18. The dimension between these two are 4. And which basically is not 4, it's 3.5. So let me quickly go and then add one decimal in here. So this one is really important if in case you want to get rid of the decimals. Because I'm the lazy person in here, I prefer to actually go and change it. But usually at least keep one decimal here. So that would be easier for you to just move on. And what else we had was the full length. Basically, this one is 40. And so in here, for that circle that we have, is basically I have it as a 7.5. So let me bring one small here. And what I'm gonna do, I have 3 of it with a diameter of the 7.5. And what I also have for the outer one, I have 3 of it again, but and make sure this one is also 7.5. So this one's radius, the other one is diameter, so that's why the signs are different. And I see that I have 7 slots here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click on, let me zoom in, pick up any of them is absolutely fine. So let me pick up, for instance, this one. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say that I have 2 of them and a 7 slot. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go there here and then write it as the 2. So you can see each of them has 2 basically. Fillets on the side, and underneath I'm gonna write the, basically you will have the 7 slots, and that's it. So basically that's one has been done. Let me quickly have a look to see is there anything else I need to show. And no, that's basically done about the dimension that we already done. And so it's ready to be saved, and also is ready to be saved and exported as well. If in case you want to export it, you can go and click on the save as. Let me save it as the PDF in here. I'm gonna view the PDF afterwards to just go through it quickly. And you can see what you've created. Of course, you're going to spend some time to go through basically the templates as well, but you will get the idea about what you basically need to do. And also you can move around between the different views we already got here. Also for the basically in here, the tutorial 3, when I was talking about the project we also went through, please spend some time to go through and do that your own time. It's really straightforward about doing this one. You already know you import the model and you get it as a project. Also you get it, you can get it as the closed one as well in here. So thank you so much for your time. That was the session 7 of the CAD CAE Bootcamp. We went through the assembly. Also within this video we went through the technical drawing as well. Please take your time to practice these. You can play and pause and then practice at your own time, which is really important. Otherwise, you know, you will easily forget this. Thank you so much and see you next time. Thank you.